Hello. Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me? This is super last minute. Sorry. I just had to get on. Thank you. Um, Let me add a banner. I just had to get on because I just had to tell you guys. No. Yes. Okay. No, I had to get on. This is so last minute. This is so last minute, but I had to get on. Sorry, guys. No, Nicholas, I did not. But the reason why I wanted to do this stream, because they still haven't given it back to me. The reason why I wanted to do this stream is because I wanted to go over the thickening plot of how I found out that what they're doing is actually like targeted and against their own policies. Okay, so uh, I think I think what happened, like at least for me, that I was so um I was so I need to add a banner to this. Wait, hold on. Hey, everybody. Uh, Come on. How do you edit this? Bruh. All right, I'll do this in a minute. I need to get to the point. Okay. When I say the plot thickens about YouTube. Yes, okay, you guys. I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain. Uh what? See perks. What perks? My name ain't green no more, but it says I'm still a member. Okay. That is what I wanted to talk to you guys about, okay? And the insanity of this YouTube targeting of me. So YouTube is like, "Oh, we don't target people. It's not personal, like this and this and that." And I think that when it first happened, I was so stressed out about it that I didn't actually think to read what it like their own contradictions. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that I thought to even look into their own contradictions and the fact that I actually do have receipts. Because as you're saying, Donald, what they're claiming to me in the emails that they wrote to me being like, sorry, get over it. Like we permanently demonetized your channel. Sorry, get over it. Literally is belied by the evidence of them still telling you guys that you guys are members and then sending me an email that said that my membership was paused. Because it actually says in their guidelines that when they demonetize someone permanently, that number one, it doesn't happen after one warning. It doesn't happen after a warning, it happens after strikes, multiple strikes, or at least they say if it's the most like egregious thing ever, that can happen after one strike, but it's still a strike, not a warning. It actually says on their website that warnings um do not that warnings do not what do they call it? Result in any penalizing on your account, right? So what they're doing, if they had actually so basically they're lying to me in the emails because the emails they're telling me when I was arguing with them, yes, your channel was permanently demonetized. But when you actually look, and I'm going to share this photo with you, um, Wait. Where did it go? Come on. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen with you guys so you guys can see this. Attorneys cost money, bro. I don't like an attorney would cost a lot of money. Okay, so watch this, you guys. No, you know what I really need? I need you guys to get other people who are YouTube creators to pay attention. That's what I need. Because you know what? Check this out. I emailed, or not emailed, but I sent a message on Twitter to the Vanguard and to Crystal Ball. I have not heard back from either of them. I've been reaching out to YouTubers to get them to try to bring attention to my case, and I have yet to hear back. So that's what I need your guys' help with. No, wait, no, that's not it. No, the thing is that I think that Rathbone just started a new channel, which I don't wanna do. I want them to give it back to me because they had no reason to take it away, and this is ridiculous. It's also about proving a point. Okay, so watch this, check this out. This is an email that I got from YouTube saying, "Hello, your channel is not able to monetize. Your channel has been paused." Okay? Paused. That is crazy. We had to pause memberships because you are currently not able to monetize. Does that sound like uh, wait, when did Francesca say that? Okay, does that sound like somebody who was permanently demonetized? So who are these people responding to me from YouTube? Okay, guys, just really quick, could I please ask a huge favor from chat to stop referring to other platforms. I know that there are other platforms. Right now, what I'm talking about is the injustice of them telling me something that isn't true. They told me that they permanently demonetized my account when in actuality, they not only just paused it, they paused my memberships, and I have proof of that from this email. But they also shows and proves that they paused it because, as everybody in chat is telling me, you guys are still paying for the subscriptions. Now, you're not going to get charged right now as it's paused, but you're still enrolled in it. You're still subscribed to me. You're still subscribed as a member to me, enrolled in it, as you guys are all saying in chat, which proves even nah, which proves even further, okay, which proves even further that it was paused. So to prove it in two ways that it was paused, not completely canceled, is you guys still being enrolled in the memberships and them telling you that it's just paused, and them sending to me the email that's saying that it's paused. That is different than being totally like removed. Okay. Number one. Second of all, it's already so that's already ridiculous. Um, Second of all, they shouldn't have never paused it in the first place because I'm going to show you what they said, and then I'm going to show you the email that I wrote them. Okay. Um, well, yeah, guys, this is why I'm fighting back. I think the answer is to try to fight back against this type of censorship, not just be a doomer and be like, oh, well, they suck. Like, we know, but I think that the answer is just being doomer and giving up on it. No, what I am asking, um, yes, Donald, I did appeal it and they rejected it within minutes, and that's why I'm telling you that there's something very sus going on here. Something very, very sus going on here because not only did they reject it in just a moment, but even if, which I wrote in my email, I'm gonna show you guys, even if my video had violated their policy, which I still don't believe it did, I think it's bullshit that they took it down. Even if it did, according to their own policies and guidelines, they still should not have given me any penalty on my account. Anyway, as of right now, what I am really asking, people to do to help me is to get other YouTubers who are on the left's attention and tell them to speak out about it. Because that is the I don't know if you guys saw my last video, but that to me, um, that to me is one of the things that has been the most frustrating is seeing that, like, what is happening to me should have never happened. I should have never been penalized like this. My video should have never been taken down. I should have never been dealt this, like, ridiculous draconian, um, penalty. And then a bunch of people who spend all their time talking about leftist media, how we need to build leftist media, how we need to build leftist coalitions, have said nothing as this happens to me. So that's not okay. And they absolutely should be speaking out about it. So I feel like one of the best things that you guys could do to help me out is to go into their chats, go into their comments, go into their Twitter comments and tell them to speak out. Speak out for me. Oh yeah, definitely, Donald. I want to get my page back, the monetization back on my page. But even when I do, I want people who were members previously to stay on Ko-fi and Patreon because this is really disgusting. Like, what YouTube has done is really disgusting. Okay, so that is right there just proof of that, okay? I'm gonna show you a little bit more proof. Now, where are my screenshots? I took here we go. Donald, can you send a picture of this? And actually, any of you, can you guys take screenshots of that with the date that says that your membership is paused? I'm collecting evidence here because I feel like they are trying to gaslight me and gaslight me into like I contacted their customer service again last night and they were so rude. Like the person that I talked to was so rude. They were like, "Oh, are you talking about your account again?" Decision stands. Decision stands. Like very, very rude. Um, but Donald and anybody else that is still has a membership through my YouTube, if you could please take a photo of it. That a photo with the date, like today, that says that you're still a member and that it's paused. Thank you, theater. Um, yeah, I think you can do it on a desktop too. Anyway, I wanna show you guys this. I'm just for evidence collecting sake, okay? So, I wanna show you this too. This is what happened to my account. See how it says warning? I've never had a strike before. Yeah, guys, unless you know a lawyer that's willing to contact them and work with me for free, there's no way I could afford a lawyer. Um, anyway, stay with me, you guys, on here, on the thing I'm talking about. Look at how it says warning. It's not a channel strike. The policy training, which I already took, that's actually how I uncovered all this, how I realized all of this. Was I think I told you a second ago that when this first happened to me, I think I was so stressed out about it that I really didn't read into the fine print or, like, read into what was really happening. I was just upset and wanting them to put my video back up because my video I think I was so focused on the fact that I don't believe that my video violated the guidelines and that it wasn't true, that I was focused on trying to prove that it wasn't true rather than looking at what they did. Rather than looking at what they did, like what they actually did. So once I went into my studio last night and I saw that they said, take the policy training, I'm like, okay, I may as well, whatever they're saying. So I take the training, I get every answer right, of course, because I know the difference. And I go in there. I know, seriously, taquito. That's like such like a good point. Like for real, for real. Okay, so I go in there, right? And I like I said, I was so focused on the injustice of it all and the fact that they took a video down that they never should have taken down that I wasn't really focusing on the actual policies, like the YouTube policies. So then I took the I took their requirement, the little training that they told me to take. And I realized because after I took it, there were all these like links on like, reading their guidelines and their monetization policies and like all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, so as I start reading it, I realize that they're not following their own rules when it came to my channel. And I'm like, wait a second. Wait a second. Like in their own policies and in their own guidelines, they say if you get a warning, it will result in no penalty on your channel. None, zero. The whole point of the warning, as they describe it in one of their community guidelines sections, is to help the creator understand what they did wrong, why a video or a piece of content was taken down, and to educate themselves by taking that training moving forward. There is no penalty, right? That's why the warning, if you don't get any more, is removed. It says on April 22nd. So, what? What? Like, that doesn't make any sense, okay? It doesn't make any sense. So, if it's a warning, then the people that talked to me, the people that initially emailed me, lied. They either lied or they got it horribly wrong and they don't know what they're doing. Okay? So there's supposed to be multiple layers before somebody gets permanently demonetized, right? Like there's supposed to be like layers of warning, strike, second strike, third strike before somebody gets their channel demonetized. It's not supposed to happen on a warning. If it is a warning, if it's a warning and you've never had a warning and you don't have any strikes on your account, if it's a warning and there's no strikes on your account and you don't have previous violations, there's supposed to be no penalty. No penalty. None. Um okay. So uh yes, I have other, I have a different YouTube channel that I don't really use, that's a little older that I could, but that's kinda not the point. Like, the point is, this is insane, okay? And I want this injustice corrected because this is not okay. And to the people who are all who haven't said anything about this, um, embarrassing because don't think that something this absurd can't happen to you. If they're fixing to just do ridiculous, absurd things like this, um, then don't think that it can't happen to you. Okay. So, like I said, warnings are not supposed to result in any penalty. Okay. Any penalty. On top of that, even if it were true, because like I said, I don't believe at all that my video violated any community guidelines. I don't believe so at all, not even a little. I think that they should have put it up, they should have never taken it down. But even if I give them the benefit of the doubt and say that my video did violate the guidelines, even if still they should have never any kind of penalty like demonetizing my account because it's a warning. So even if I did violate the guidelines and they took my video down, this is what should be seen. This is what I should be seeing. A warning that expires on the 22nd of April, not a demonetization. Not a demonetization. And further, as I already explained, even you guys are saying that it doesn't even say that it's been disabled. It says that it's paused. Now, they should have never paused it in the first place because, as I said, even on a warning is supposed to not incur any penalty. But even if it was a strike, let's pretend it wasn't a warning, let's pretend it was a strike, then they should say pause memberships that come back after 90 days or 30 days or however long the penalty is. Not saying that memberships are paused or that demonetization is paused, but then they're telling me in an email that it's permanent. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. And it's really funny because the last time they did this to me and they did reverse it, they actually reversed it the same day. They never apologized nor explained. Like they never um they used to and I thought that was sus at the time. And obviously like I got distracted with other things because like, creating content full time is a full-time job and it's a lot of reading and paying attention to the news and all this other stuff. So I just moved on. But remember thinking at the time that they first did this and then they fixed it that day that it was very sus that they didn't acknowledge any wrongdoing nor did they apologize. Um so there was that. Um and then um yes, once again, but people shouldn't accept it. People shouldn't accept it, especially since if they could do something like this to me because I'm a small channel, what do you think they're going to do to other people? Other people who are small channels. Like that's why I said I need other people who are bigger than I am to advocate for me. Like, that's what I need. I need other people. And you know what's sad? You know what's sad? The only person that actually has advocated me thus far that I have seen is Letterhack. Letterhack, who is a great, 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 great guy, great channel. You guys were the ones who told me about Letterhack, but he's also a tiny channel. None of the like larger channels have said anything. It's pretty messed up. Except for, I take that back, except for Katie Halper, she did mention it yesterday, aside from Katie, but aside from Katie. Um, yeah, so, this is an insane, insane injustice that needs to be corrected. Yeah, people keep saying you should get a lawyer, okay, like, to go send me somebody who will do it for free because I don't have the money to pay a lawyer. It is frustrating, but it's also frustrating the principle of it. It's frustrating to know that you're right about something, that you didn't do anything wrong, and it's still happening. And I think it's even more frustrating. What's also been really frustrating to me is to see the way that people have not stood up for me in the way that I would most certainly stand up for them if it happened to them and I were a larger channel. Because think about it. What do you hear a lot of the left say? Yes, I will give you the link, where she brings it up. Um, think about what you hear a lot of the left say. You hear a lot of the left talk about standing up for other people on the left, creating ecosystems, creating media, creating more leftist media, trying to fight with the right, trying to compete with the right, trying to stand up for each other, all of that kind of stuff. You hear people say it on the left all the time, and yet I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. And I think that that is really upsetting to see them not. I believe a lot of them do know Sassy, but if they don't and I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt, that's also why I'm asking people in here, including you guys, to get their attention. Yeah, Sassy, no, I hear you. That's why I'm saying I need people that are in my community here on Twitter, on Discord, on all these pages to help me get their attention, to get them to talk about this, to get people that are in left-wing media to talk about this, whether that's um the Majority Report, the Vanguard, who else? Uh who else is on the left? Kyle Kalinske. This is what it says on my membership list to this channel are currently paused. That's crazy. That's crazy that it says that, Donald, which means one of two things. They're either lying to me or they're lying to you, right? Because they're telling me that my memberships and my channel was permanently demonetized and that all of that would be canceled. But then they're telling you that it's paused and that they're working to start memberships back up again. So are they lying to you or are they lying to me? I don't think Kyle live streams, but I mean, like, if people tweeted him. Yeah, or Hassan or HD Signifier, anybody that is on the left. That's crazy. Okay, so either the information they're giving to you is false or the information they're giving to me is false. And I can and it sounds to me like lies. I could give them the benefit of the doubt and just say that the people working over there don't have any idea what they're doing, but little sus, especially since this has happened to me before. Yes, but again, I agree with this, Seth. It's ridiculous that they monetize people like it ain't no thing, like Asmund Gold and Destiny, who always is talking about like the R word and like using the N word and saying like some of the most insane shit, and Ethan Decline. Yet, but again, that's the reason why I don't think the option is giving up, right? I want this injustice fixed. That's why I keep complaining about it. People are like, "Oh, okay, well, it's unfair because they always empower the right wing, so I guess we should just give up." No, I don't want to give up. I want this injustice corrected. This is the reason why the right wing always wins, okay? This is the reason why the right wing always wins. Something like this happens, not only do you have all the other right wingers out defending them, circling the wagons, making noise, on the phone with their Congress people, getting congressional hearings, but whenever stuff like this happens to the left, no one stands up for us. No one's like, yeah, I'm going to stand up for them because this shouldn't be happening to them. And B, a lot of the other leftists will be like, well, what are you going to do? I guess I'll just go on OnlyFans. Like, I don't accept this, well, what are you going to do attitude. Like, I don't like that, especially when something is so unjust. Like, this is not right. It's not right. It's not accurate. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like too much of the time when something bad happens to like shows on the left, channels on the left, a lot of times they just like accept it. They'll be like, oh, well, that sucks. I'll go to a different. It's like, or alternatively, we could act like the right does, and the right circles the wagons and they defend each other and they call it out and they platform each other and they complain and they get like national attention over it. You know, many times the right are so annoying that they'll turn it into like an election issue. And before you know it, they're sitting in a congressional hearing getting Senator fucking what's that idiot's name from Wisconsin? That one idiot, I'm forgetting his name, to sit there and drag Google or Facebook up in front of a congressional hearing and ask them why they censor conservatives. That's what they do. Yeah, that's why you continue to speak out about it because it's not okay. It's not okay that they did this. It's not right. It's not accurate. It's not fair. It's not consistent with even their own. It's not consistent with their even own stated platform rules. They're telling me in an email, again, I'll just say that it must be an accident and the person doesn't know what they're doing and it's not malicious, that it was a permanent demonetization, but they're telling my members that it's a temporary pause and that they're working on getting the memberships back. They're telling me in this email it's permanent, but then every single area online that I read of their rules, this is not how it's supposed to go. Not how it's supposed to go. Their own rules, they are trying to bully me. They are. They're trying to bully me. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with that. Again, that is why again, people keep saying, "What can I do? What can I do?" There are two things that I'm asking people to do right now. And that's either A, if you can support me on Patreon and Ko-Fi, and B, to get the attention of other leftist creators. Why aren't they inviting me on their show? Why? Why aren't they inviting me on their show to talk about my case? Why aren't they inviting me on their show to talk about what's happening to me? Mhm. Um, yes, I am rich. I'm being ignored. At least the people that I have reached out to have been ignoring me. Um, Either that or if, like I said, I wanna give them the benefit of the doubt, and some I do, I am giving the benefit of the doubt, I think maybe they just haven't seen my messages. Um, well, I don't know Deep Valley if all of them know, that's why I'm asking you to let them know. Like, of course, I don't assume that every single one of them know, that's why I'm asking people to let them know. Let them know on, like, what you call it, let them know on Twitter. Let them know on Twitter, let them know on their live streams. Let them know on Twitter, let them know on their live streams. Yeah, so the whole thing is insane. And like I said, even if I did violate their community guidelines, which I absolutely did not, this whole entire thing is ridiculous. A warning, according to their own guidelines, their own specified guidelines, a warning is not supposed to incur any penalty. It is supposed to be just to let you know, and that's why they give you the little test. That's why they give you the little test. They give you the test, it even says it in there, so that the warning is meant to let creators know what they did wrong and how they can do better, and then they give you this little test that you take where you're like, or training module where it shows you what it is that you did wrong and asks you what are violations and what aren't. So, um, and again, it's the principle. I know that it is, yeah, so what I'm asking people to do is to reach out to other creators who have YouTube channels specifically, either in their Twitter or in their live chats. Like, go into their live chats and speak about this, um, and ask them to speak about it. Go into their live chats and speak about it and ask them to speak about it and tweet at them. Um, yeah, I do, and I will say that I would do the same thing. My channel, I think, will get bigger eventually. When it does, I would absolutely do the same thing for somebody else. In fact, I always speak out against when people are attacking other leftist creators, whether they're smaller than me or bigger. Um, yeah. So the whole thing is insane. And wait, hold on. So, oh, thank you, Sky. Oops. Hello, hello, hello. Wait, I'm trying to find Sky's message. Thank you, Sky. I appreciate that. I see you. I see you, Sky. Um, yeah, the whole thing is just so insane. And it really does feel like a purposeful targeting because as many of you guys know, as I've said, this isn't the first time this has happened to me. This is the second time this has happened to me. I don't have Substack Mustafa, but in the meantime, as I am trying to fight back, I do have Patreon and Ko-fi, which have asked people who are members to join and support me if you can over there. Um, so do you want me guys to do you want me to read you guys the email that I sent to them? Okay, hold on. Yeah. All right, let me read you the email that I sent to them. And this is after much back and forth, like a lot of back and forth. I've been going back and forth with them for since the 19th, since when they first did this. And I've talked to like 3 different people. All right. I just want to make sure I'm not showing his name. Also, tweeting helps you guys. Like anybody tweeting, not just at other leftist creators, but tweeting at YouTube and telling them to stop targeting me and telling me to restore my um, restore my account, my monetization. Once again, they should have never taken it in the first place. Um, that would be amazing. Maybe they're targeting me because 'cause I'm trans. They don't like, trans folks now. Because 'cause isn't it interesting they hate trans people? Isn't it interesting that this happened as soon as the Trump administration was taking office? This happened on the 19th, right as the Trump administration was coming in, the day before the inauguration. Sus. Um, one thing I do notice about the left, and I'm not saying this to be insulting because I know that this is true of a lot of people, and I've even felt this way before, is that there's definitely a sense of learned helplessness on the left. Whether we got that from the libs or from the left, there's definitely a sense of learned helplessness. You look at the right wing when they come under attack, and I pay a lot of attention to the right wing because they actually care about power. They actually like to win. So I watch them to see what they're doing. Um, yes, I do believe that this is definitely part of it. It does seem very sus that this happened right as the Trump administration was coming in. And whenever the right wing gets targeted, and like I said, I study them because they actually know how to win and they actually care about winning. They don't care about decorum. They don't care about the institutions. They care about power. They don't care about precedent with Roe v. Wade. They don't care about any of that. They care about power. And one of the things I notice is that they never have learned helplessness. It doesn't matter if they're just a person with a small platform, a person with a large platform, or just some random person. They are not on social media at all. They just have a Twitter account with 10 followers. They will get mobilized. But the left, even as I'm talking to you guys right now in chat and telling you guys, like, this is happening to me, I need your help, getting people's attention, getting people, to help me mobilize. A lot of the responses that I'm getting are very much the learned helplessness of the left and liberals. Like, and again, I'm not saying this to be insulting. I love you guys. But it's just something I notice. It's something I notice. They'll be like, the right wing will be like, what can we do? Let's stick together. The left are like, sorry this is happening, but I don't have a platform. I can't do anything about it. Or sorry this is happening to you. This sucks. You should just start a new channel. What is with the I don't this we need to snap out of this defeatist attitude, folks. We need to get out of this defeatist attitude here. Or just being like, yeah, just go to blue sky. No. I mean, I'll go to blue sky, but I'm not going to get off Twitter just because like a bunch of right wingers are on it. Like, I do not like this unilateral surrender. And I feel like Democrats and the left are such like unilateral surrender, learned helplessness. Like, just like, how are we supposed to fight back against the right wing with this kind of attitude, folks? No, this is not the vibe. This is not the vibe. The vibe is fighting back. The fight is creating coalitions. And I'm not just talking about YouTube now, okay? I'm talking about fighting back against the fascist agenda that's now here from the right wing and from the neoliberals that are going to help them because neoliberals and Democrats help fascists. Neoliberals and Democrats help Republicans, whether it's this or anything else. The vibe is not unilateral surrender and Democrats, let's work with Trump and empower his fascism. The vibe is fighting back. So, yes, I do not accept this targeting by YouTube and whatever it is that they did because it's not right. It's not right. Wrong. It's unfair. It goes against their own stated policies. It's censorship. It's targeting. It's not right. So I want to fight back against it. I don't want to just like start a new channel. I want them to fix it. I want them to make it right. I want them to correct this injustice, this error. I want you to I want them to stop the injustice. I want them to reverse the injustice and stop the injustice, not just, I don't wanna just start a new channel. Mm. Okay. So, anyway, I'm gonna read you guys the email. I just covered his name because I don't wanna, use the name of the person. Okay. Um, alright, I'll read it to you guys really quick. Make sure, though, that you got this picture there for you. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Alright, I'm gonna leave this up for any of you guys who can become members at Ko-Fi and Patreon since they took away pause my YouTube membership. I might know someone who could reach out to them. Okay, yeah, hold on, you guys. I gotta pee really quick, and then I'm gonna read you the email. Actually, I should take a picture of the email and read it so that I don't accidentally, like, dox anyone. I feel like I'm giving a class project. Hey, bruh. Shit. I don't know where my headphone case is. Where did it go. Sophie just sent me a Cash App payment. Thank you so much, Sophie. That's so kind. Thank you so much. Shout out to Sophie. You know what though? I actually was making a board because I want to do like a shout out to all the patrons and stuff and people who are members. Every time I do my live stream, the way that like the Vanguard does, how they always shout out, like, and they have them all their names. They have like all their names written on a like a board. Like they have their names written on like a cute board that they shout out every time. Cause you know what's messed up? It was just this last time I was streaming that I was talking about all the things that I wanted to do this year, right? Like it was my last stream where I was talking about all the things I had planned, all the things I really wanted to do this year, all the things I've planned and all the things I want to do this year, including things like and such as creating a cute board that I could put all the patrons' names on and all the subscribers on Ko-Fi and the YouTube members, all that kind of stuff. I finally had a streaming schedule. Like I told you guys, I was going to have a new streaming schedule where it would be every Thursday and every Sunday, all that kind of stuff. It was hours later that they did this to me. Hours later. Hours later. Okay. Hours later. The Vanguard's I'm gonna need the Vanguard to live up to their theme song. The Vanguard's theme song, like every time their stream starts, they're like, something's going on, the Vanguard will be there. Well, something is going on, boys. So I'm gonna need Silly and Billy come out to come up and come out. Uh okay. I'm gonna share. Okay, how do I close this panel? There we go. Okay. Bruh. No. This is not what I wanted to share. Why isn't it? All right. I'm just going to show what I put. I put it in a Google Doc because, like I said, I don't want to accidentally like out who this person is. Um, so I just put it on a Google Doc. But this is what I wrote them. Yeah. Okay. All right, you guys want me to read this to you? F, like, you know what's pissing me off is that I can't find my headphone case. I don't want to wear my headphones while I'm doing this. This is so rageful. Ugh. Yeah. I cannot tell you the amount.
Whoops. I muted myself. Whoops. I'm saying it's about the principle. It's about the principle. It's about the attempt to bully. It's about the attempt to silence. That's also what I'm upset about. It's not just that I'm upset about the, the money, which obviously, of course, I'm upset about the money. I hate when people try to act like they don't need to like pay bills. Like, obviously, I need to pay bills. I'm upset about the money. But like, it's not the only thing I'm upset about. I am also upset about the principle because this wasn't right. This was BS. This was unfair. This was unjust. And it needs to be corrected. Period. Anyway, I'm going to read it. So this is what I wrote to YouTube after they continue to try to gaslight me and tell me that it's not she, I'm non-binary. Please use my proper pronouns. My pronouns are they, them. Just because the Trump administration decided that they were going to try to legislate us out of existence, trans people exist, and we're still here. We're queer. We're not going anywhere. We're here. We're gender queer. We're not going anywhere. So anyhow, yes, I'm upset about the injustice of it. Okay. Okay. So this is what I wrote. And again, this was after they sent me another email being like, we looked into your case, which is amazing. They always look into the case and find that everything is copy and paste to what they tell other people they didn't look into. So it'll be like 5 minutes later. They'll be like, oh, about that. Sorry, we looked into your case and we found that everything you said was wrong and everything we said was right. Okay. So then I wrote back to them after they gave me another one of those BS arguments. And also after I'd contacted their member like support service or whatever. After I had contacted their support service, like their partner support service, and the person was really, really rude to me. And they were like, somebody's already reviewing your case. So I don't know why you're contacting us. If you have something to say, put it in the email chain. Like that's essentially what they said to me. And I'm going to do a whole long video on this. Like I'm live streaming this to you guys right now because I wanted to have a real-time conversation with you guys about it. I wanted to have a real-time conversation with you guys about all of this, but I am going to also make probably a very long like video on it. I'm going to make like a really long video on it. So anyway, okay, so this is what I wrote to them. I spoke to the agent tonight and who asked me to bring any further concerns back to you since he said I already have an open case and by contacting him, it'll just make the whole thing more convoluted, which I wasn't trying to do. I just felt an immediate urgency to share him with this. Oh yeah, because I forgot. They kept trying to get me off the, when I was talking to the YouTube person, the partner person, they kept being like, I'd be in the middle of writing something to them and they're like, anything else? It reminded me of like a comedy movie. Like, anything else? Do you need anything else? No, I know everything is automated. They literally use automation, as we all know from the Luigi thing. They literally use automation to deny people's healthcare claims. Okay, so anyway, I've got my Ko-Fi and Patreon up, so anybody who wants to support me and help me get through this hell, this injustice, can become members there. Yeah, they'll be like, I'm in the middle of like trying to explain it to them. They're like, anything else? I'm like, I'm not done. It's actually crazy. Yeah, exactly. Not only can YouTube destroy someone's livelihood, take away their livelihood, but again, if they're going to do that, like that's the point of having a process. Otherwise, why have a process, right? That's why they have a process. Like the whole point of their entire strike policy, their warning policy, their demonetization policy is that it's supposed to have multiple layers so that people aren't just having the rug pulled out from under them. You know what I mean? Like that's the point. The point of having the multi-layered strike penalty warning system is so that people don't have the rug pulled from under them the way people felt they were having, like, so that people don't have that happen the way people felt like they were having the rug pulled under them. That the way people felt like they were having the rug pulled from under them with TikTok just being banned. That is the point, and that is the reason why other leftist creators on YouTube should care about this. Because if they can just pull the rug like that without just sidestep their entire process, what makes them think they can't do that to them? Every leftist creator should care about this. In fact, even if you're not a leftist creator, if you're a creator at all, because if they can do this to me and just sidestep the whole process, then they can do it to you too. Yeah, that was the other horrible things. Thanks, Jaya. They did it to me right after I hit 20K, right after. They actually ruined my celebration. Okay. They ruined my celebration. Okay, so I'm gonna finish reading this. So, okay. So then I said, which what I wasn't trying to do, I just felt an immediate urgency to share with him what I learned from deciding to going through the module training YouTube said that I should do for the warning. As a result, I learned quite a few things about the guidelines I had previously not known that raised many more questions about this entire process, how it's unfolded over the last few days. And I say that because, like I said, which I told you guys earlier on stream, that when this first happened, I didn't really think about the fact that YouTube was violating its own stated policy because I was so focused on the fact that I felt like them taking down my video was unfair. That like them claiming that my video was violent criminal organizations was so absurd and so unfair and so ludicrous that I was focused on that rather than the fact that they are violating their own stated policy. So then when I went in to go do that training module, they're like, do the training module for the warning. As I'm doing it and I finish it, and then I start reading their, not just their community guidelines, but their monetization policies. I'm reading through the monetization policies. I'm reading through the guidelines. I'm reading through their penalty process. And I'm like, wait a second. Wait a second. This doesn't make any sense. Something ain't right. Okay. So when my channel was permanently demonetized after a first warning, no previous violations, no previous strikes, I knew that it was disproportionate. But now I know that it directly contradicts YouTube's own stated policies regarding first-time violations. I respectfully request an immediate, transparent review of this decision as it undermines the trust and transparency creators rely on to sustain their work on your platform. That's another reason why I feel like people who are also YouTube creators, especially leftist YouTube creators, should care, because this isn't just about me. Me saying this undermines doing something like this without review and just doing this blanket thing undermines the trust and transparency that any creator can rely on to sustain their work on your platform. So that's also why they all should care. Where are you, Vosh? Where's Vosh? I demand Vosh care. I also defended Vosh, okay? Because I stand on business. I stand on principle. I defended Vosh when people came after him. So, background for those of you who don't know, this is all in the email that I sent to them. I recently received a notification that one of my videos was flagged for violating violent criminal organizations policy. The notification clearly stated that this was a first-time warning according to YouTube's published guidelines. If this is your first, this is from YouTube's site, from Google. If this is your first time violating our community guidelines, you'll get a warning with no penalty to your channel. Is that unclear? Was that unclear? Okay. This policy explicitly states that a warning is not a penalty and it serves solely to educate creators about compliance. However, despite receiving only a warning, my channel was permanently demonetized, which actually I should have added and I didn't. I should have added permanently demonetized in quotes, because according to the email that I received, it's only temporarily paused. And according to the email that my members received, people who are paying members on my YouTube, it was also only temporarily paused. So it was permanently demonetized according to the person that answered the YouTube email, but not according to my own channel, not according to the warning that I got within the YouTube Creator Studio channel, and not according to the emails that they sent me or my paying members. I should have added that. I did not. So we're going to move forward. But that is the case. This decision directly contradicts any principle outlined in your community guidelines. I also want to share my personal experience to further emphasize this injustice of this decision. I understand that my case was reviewed, allegedly, by YouTube's policy team, and I was subsequently asked to complete a training policy module designed to educate creators on policy compliance. After creating this training, I not only became more confident that my content did not violate the guidelines, but I also learned that even if they had, a warning is explicitly meant to correct behavior without imposing penalties. The training reinforced what I had already understood, that the purpose of the warning system is educational, not punitive. The demonetization of my channel therefore directly contradicts the core principles YouTube has outlined for its creators. And by that I mean when I said it didn't violate it, when they had me take the policy module training. It was on violent criminal organizations, and it asked me to pick whether or not they were violative or not, each question. And I got them all correct because my content wasn't violative. It wasn't. It did not violate the community guidelines whatsoever. It fell exactly within their community guidelines. So, review. So actually, ironically, them telling me to do that policy training on violent criminal organizations just made me more confident that I didn't do anything wrong based on their own guidelines. Okay. So, what makes this situation even more troubling is that I've experienced something similar to this before. My channel was demonetized previously after receiving a warning, and YouTube later acknowledged that this was an error and reinstated monetization. Like I said, this is another thing I wish I would have mentioned, is that at the time, I should have made a bigger deal about the fact that they didn't apologize and they didn't give me a thorough explanation as to why it happened. But because I was busy, I just moved on. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, sorry, mistake, whatever, error, even though we told you it wasn't an error, have it back. And I should have been like, why did you do that? Can I get a more thorough explanation? I did ask them, I remember at the time being like, okay, well, how can I ensure this doesn't happen to me again? Because it was an error. So how can I ensure this doesn't happen again? They're like, oh, it won't. Just follow the guidelines. Like, very, very weird. I was also told recently, actually, before this even happened by people, which is another sus situation. I was told by other people that in my community that they were not allowing them to subscribe. Like, people were telling me that they were trying to subscribe to my channel on YouTube and could not find the subscribe button. Not the join member button, not to become a member. They couldn't even subscribe. Like, they couldn't even become free subscribers. Okay. It's difficult to understand that the same thing could occur twice, especially when YouTube has previously corrected the very issue. This recurring problem raises serious concerns about the consistency in applying your policies and the adequacy of the internal review processes. Yeah, that's like the best, most basic way I could understate it. Because obviously, what kind of internal review process do you have if this keeps happening? Do you though? Do you? Who's running this? AI? The misapplications of the warning system. Okay, this is what I was talking about. They're disproportionate violations of this is the violations that YouTube is making of its own policies. The misappropriations of the warning system. YouTube's guideline, and by the way, I cited all of these, okay? I linked to the website, to Google and YouTube's website, and everything I talked about, okay? YouTube's guidelines make it clear that warnings are designed to help creators learn from their mistakes without facing immediate penalties. By demonetizing my channel, YouTube has effectively treated this warning as a strike, which is a clear violation of your own policies. The contradiction of escalation procedures. Your enforcement system is designed to escalate, okay? Your enforcement system is designed to escalate consequences for repeat violations. This begins with a warning, followed by a strike, and temporary penalties for subsequent violations. By skipping all of these steps and applying the most severe penalty, permanent demonetization, which again, they didn't actually even tell me and don't even show to my own paying members, nor me in the emails or in the studio. They just told me that when I emailed them. That's not even something that they actually gave to me in writing to begin with. YouTube has denied me the opportunity to address the issue and improve compliance, which I reference here because it says it exactly here. We understand that mistakes happen and you don't mean to violate our policies. That's why the first violation is typically only a warning. To have this warning expire after 90 days, which, as I showed you guys in my creator studio, is exactly what they gave me. In my creator studio, it gave me a warning, an opportunity to take a compliance little quiz or whatever, training, and then told me that it would expire in April. It says, if, however, you violate this same content policy again within that 90-day window, the warning will not expire and your channel will be given a strike. Okay, so yeah, I cited there. Inconsistent application on guidelines. Other creators who have received warnings for similar policy violations have not faced immediate demonetization. This is inconsistent application of the policies and raises concerns about fairness and transparency in your enforcement. Disproportionate punishment. The purpose of the warning system is to educate, not penalize. Applying a punishment intended for repeat or egregious, which is said in their statement. Okay. Somebody who is repeatedly doing something in egregious violations for a first-time warning is unjust and undermines the trust creators place in the YouTube systems. Request. In light of the above, I am formally requesting the following. I want immediate review of my channel status. I ask that YouTube review the demonetization decision and take the appropriate steps to reverse this unjust action. 2, reinstate my monetization. Given that this was a first-time warning, I request the reinstatement of my monetization of my channel to restore my ability to create content and sustain my livelihood. 3, transparency and enforcement. I urge YouTube to ensure that all the actions taken against creators are consistent with the guidelines and the policies outlined in your own documentation. Not my enforcement documentation, YouTube's enforcement documentation. Relevant YouTube policies, guidelines contradicted. Warnings and strikes. If this is, and this is me quoting them directly, their website, if this is your first time violating the community guidelines, you'll get a warning with no penalty to your channel. Pretty clear. Community guidelines enforcement. YouTube outlined a graduated system of enforcement beginning with warnings for first-time violations and escalating to strikes and penalties for repeat offenses. Skipping this graduated system contradicts your stated procedures, and I reference it. Transparency and fairness. YouTube's policies emphasize the importance of transparency and fairness in enforcement. Demonetizing a channel over a first-time warning without proper escalation violates this principle, which I reference. YouTube's creator responsibility policy. YouTube encourages creators to learn from their mistakes through warnings, which are explicitly framed as educational tools, not penalties, which I also reference. By contradicting these policies, the demonetization of my channel sets an inconsistent and unfair precedent, undermining trust in YouTube's enforcement mechanisms. YouTube's own policies make clear that a first-time warning are intended to educate creators and not result in penalties. The decision to permanently demonetize demonetize my channel is not only contrary to these policies, but also sets a dangerous and unfair precedent for all creators on the platform. Transparency and consistency in enforcement are critical to maintaining creators' trust and ensuring fairness across the board. Decisions like this undermine confidence in YouTube's processes and harm the platform's reputation as a fair and reliable space for content creators. I strongly urge YouTube to correct this error by reinstating my channel's monetization. Transparency and enforcement decisions is not just beneficial for creators, but critical for YouTube to uphold its own credibility and ensure a fair platform for all creators. I look forward to a prompt resolution and a clear explanation of how this decision was made. So I thought it was a pretty good email. I thought I did a pretty good job. The only thing that I wish I would have included was I wish I would have included the fact that they actually never even actually told me I was demonetized permanently. I only found that out by asking the person that I contacted through YouTube chat support. They never actually even told me that. They never actually sent me an email saying you're permanently demonetized. As I showed you guys earlier in chat, they sent me an email saying that my channel, my memberships were paused. They were paused. And as I also showed you guys earlier in chat, that to make clear that this was not a permanent demonetization, as I showed you guys earlier, was wait. And this is further proof of that they actually never told me that my channel was permanently demonetized. Basically, through the fact that they left all your memberships to my channel, as all of you guys are telling me in chat, they left the memberships. They just said they were paused. They told me in the email I showed you guys earlier that they were paused. And here they say, you have a warning. You have a warning. You've received a warning. You can take a policy training, which will remove the warning after 90 days. The warning expires on April 22nd. The reason why it's saying it's expired is because I did take the training. If this happens again, the policy training, you'll get a strike. Okay. So nowhere actually did they say that I was permanently demonetized, except for when I contacted YouTube partner support. Then they said it, which makes no sense. It makes no sense. So then why did you tell me that if this is what it says in my creator studio? This is what actually happened. So why are you telling me that? Further, even if I had violated the guidelines even if I violated the guidelines that they said I violated, and I didn't. I maintain and stand by the fact that my video was not violative of YouTube's guidelines. And if it was, that would be like seriously half the channels we listened to. There were countless channels, okay, that talked about, made videos about the exact same video that I did in the exact same way, and none of their channels were affected. None of their channels were affected. I didn't do anything wrong in my video. And so I maintain that. But even if I had, by their own stated policies, even if I had done it, they shouldn't have demonetized it permanently at all. In fact, you're not even supposed to get permanently demonetized after a strike. A warning, because like I said, I read all of this last night. A warning is supposed to result in no penalty. No penalty. A strike is supposed to be a temporary penalty. You get a temporary penalty or a temporary demonetization for a strike. So to permanently demonetize someone is like nuclear. They've already gotten a warning. They've already gotten like 3 strikes. That's what the permanent demonetization is supposed to be for. Somebody who has already gotten a warning and they've also gotten multiple strikes and they're still doing it. Multiple strikes and they're still putting shit up. That's who that's supposed to be for. And once again, they didn't even tell me that they permanently demonetized me. They didn't tell me in YouTube Studio, as this screenshot shows. They didn't tell my paying members. They didn't even tell me an email. They said it was paused. So what's going on? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm a Scorpio. Thank you. Yeah, no, I don't agree with that. I'm not on thin ice. In fact, I'm on very thick ice, as I just explained in this entire video. I've never even had a warning before this. That's why you keep speaking out. That's why you keep speaking out. In the meantime, and I'm gonna keep fighting for this because it's wrong, so it should be fixed. Yeah, yeah, I don't wanna just, like, create a new one. I want First of all, I don't even need to create a new one, I already have a second one. If you wanna follow that one, it's the same. If you guys wanna follow that as, like, a backup, like, it's, like, at underscore I am Blakely, same thing, but it doesn't really have anything on it. But that's not even what I want. I want my channel back. I want the channel that I've worked really hard to create over the last year back. Yeah, and they're breaking their own policies by what they're doing, as I just went through. I just read you guys the email that I wrote. I've cited all my sources from their own websites, showed you guys this screenshot, showed you guys the screenshot from my email. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This is very sus, and it doesn't make sense. It's very sus, and yeah, and I want to continue to fight it. I want my channel back. I want them to fix it. I want them to fix it. I want them to restore it. I want them to stop. I want them to stop targeting me. I want them to fix it. I want them to explain it. And I would really like for them to apologize, actually. They should apologize. No, I'm not giving up. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to give up because it's about the principle. It's wrong. So yes, if you guys are able, if you're not already, please do become a member on my Ko-Fi or my Patreon. It's the same thing. So that I can try to sustain myself while I get through this. But yeah, obviously what I want, my goal is for them to fix this. They need to fix this because I didn't do anything wrong and they're wrong. They're wrong, so they need to fix it. Why should I have to go create a whole new channel and start a whole new channel and build up a whole new channel from scratch when they're the ones who are wrong? Bro. I can't believe I lost my AirPod case, bro. I see you, Benny. Sometimes they go by really fast. Mm. All right, so yeah. So my call to action that I am asking for, besides those of you who can support me on Ko-fi and Patreon, if you can, definitely do, please. And thank you so much to Sophie for the Cash App. Is that the call to action that I'm asking is that you guys help me get the attention of larger YouTubers to talk about my case. Yeah, people like Kyle Kalinske, people like Crystal Ball, people like Brianna Joy Gray, people like the Vanguard, all those leftist YouTubers, to get their attention and to have them bring attention to my case so that it brings the attention to YouTube, and to also tag them, those creators, in their own comments on their lives and in their Twitter, to comment on their Twitters, to tag them on Twitter, to go into their lives and make comments about it, and to tag YouTube on Twitter. Yeah, they are a lot harder on smaller channels. That's the reason why I am trying to get the attention of the bigger channels. Because nothing I said was anything different than what anybody else has said. Nothing. But they didn't target them because they have bigger channels, so it would have been a bigger deal. Oh yeah, Mehdi Hassan too. Definitely Mehdi Hassan. Mehdi Hassan, sorry, I said his name wrong. Mehdi Hassan. Uh Oh yeah, the gray zone too. Gray zone, yeah. Yeah, just tag them on Twitter, tag them in their lives, talk to them in their lives, tag YouTube. Basically just keep bringing attention to this until they correct the injustice, cuz it's not right. It's wrong. And none of those YouTubers, whether they are big or especially if they're small, should think that something like this can't happen to them. All right, folks. I'm going to wrap it up for now. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting me. I love you guys. Gonna keep working at this. Gonna keep chipping it out away. Thank you, O'Day. Oh, you're so sweet, O'Day. Thank you. But I am going to accept. I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept this. I want them to fix it. Oh, Leftist Mafia. Yeah, reach out to them too. Leftist Mafia. Reach out to them. All right, you guys. I'll see you later. I love you. I'm going to keep trying to figure this out. I've been working hard on it. I'm going to keep fighting it until it's fixed, until this injustice has been corrected. All right, everybody. Love you. See you later. Free Palestine. Always. Love you. See you later. Free me.